Hi there! Emily Midget here with you today, sharing my latest installment of the Exploring with Emily series. Today I thought I'd show you a simple but super effective technique, one that has truly endless possibilities. In today's video, I'll show you how to use your Copic markers, stamps, and a little bit of scratch paper to create your own patterned paper. For today's video, I will be using the new Squeeze the Day stamp set from Ellen Hudson, along with the big scripty hello die, my T-square, and post-it notes for my masks. I began by using my T-square to draw some slightly offset lines for my lemony pattern paper. After drawing my lines, I added some large post-it notes to either side of the center strip to create my masks. I then used my Misty and Hero Arts Intense Black ink to stamp a lemony pattern on the center strip, allowing several of the stamped images to spill over the sides to create a more random and seamless look. To create custom patterned paper, I first stamp in the largest images, then go back in and fill in the gaps with the smaller stamps. Once my pattern had been stamped, I pulled back the mask on either side of the pattern strip. Allowing the stamped images to spill over the sides on the mask creates the illusion that the pattern continues on beyond the lines on either side. Next, it was time to color the images with my Copic markers. For the lemons, I used Y00, Y06, Y08, and Y19. I reserved the darkest shade, Y19, choosing instead to do the bulk of the coloring and shading with the lighter 3 shades, then adding the darkest shade wherever the shadows would be deepest. For the juicy interior of the fruit, I used the lightest 2 shades of my lemony Copic grouping, finishing the coloring off with a colorless blender. I use this technique when I want to create a seamless blend from color into white. For the greenery, I used G14, G17, and G28. When coloring leaves, I try to concentrate on contrast between the highest curved area and the lower curved spot directly next to it. The contrast creates the shape and dimension of the leaf. After I'd finished coloring the images on the pattern section, I used B18 to add a bright cobalt blue background. I carefully outline each stamped and colored image, keeping the point of the Copic marker pointed away from my body to maximize control, then fill in the blank areas. The key to creating a smooth, color-saturated background is to try to keep your marker strokes the same direction, while also working the color until the lines have smoothed into each other. Copic markers have a unique ability to smooth out the more you work the color, creating a beautifully saturated and vibrant blend. If you are having difficulty with harsh lines in your Copic coloring, try working the color with your marker and saturating your paper. You'll find the color blends more easily the more ink you have saturated into the paper. To create the rest of the pattern for my custom patterned paper, I used a little more masking and the Stamp Market's Confetti Background. I began by trimming a strip of computer paper roughly the same size as my lemony patterned strip, then adhered it with some washi tape. Using my MISTI and some more intense black ink, I stamped the background and removed the mask, leaving 3 distinct pattern panels. When mixing patterns, it's a good idea to contrast the sizes of the patterns, combining a small, subtle pattern like the confetti background with a bolder pattern containing larger elements, like the lemons. This allows you to have patterns side by side while not overloading the eye. For the greeting, I used the big scripty hello die set from the Essentials by Ellen line and one of the sentiments from the new Squeeze the Day stamp set. I die cut the hello outline die from some heavyweight vellum, then cut the thinner sentiment die from some bright blue foil. The vellum outline helps to create some contrast from the busy background, softening the pattern beneath and allowing the sentiment to stand out. I adhered both the sentiment die cut and the sentiment strip using foam tape, then added some bright yellow jewels for a bit of sparkle. Well, that's all for my project today. One of my favorite ways to use stamps is to create my own patterned paper, and using a little masking and a little Copic coloring creates an almost screen-printed effect on your custom pattern panel. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up, and you can head over to the Ellen Hudson blog for all of the details on the products used. Thanks so much for watching, and have a marvelous day.